did the same thing.
Yeah.
I was proud
Actually-
of myself to be able to take down the
Yeah.
Savage Forest as monk.
Oh god.
Yeah.
I
Actually,
think
it
it was
was-
Happy or someone. He actually beat Thornton. Yep.
Yeah. As
Solo.
Paladin, right?
He
As a
also did
paladin.
Nidhogg.
Yeah.
Solo as a paladin too.
Yeah.
See, I at level 70, I did the normal Nidhogg. Yeah, the story one.
Oh, that stack mechanic kicks your ass. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but I actually did that solo as Paladin at 70.
I did
That
it,
was
I
not
did
fun.
it semi-solo as a gunbreaker. I
Uh,
had
the-
top of my party. We got him down to 50% health. Everybody wiped. I was still alive, and only because I had the limit break was I able to survive.
Nice.
And I was able to do it as Paladin, only because of Hallowed Ground. I worked out that every time he does Arcmorn, it adds an extra one. I actually got to a point where he did 8 Arcmorns,
Wow.
but I hit Hallowed Ground halfway through that and got the kill. Ah,
I love this dungeon. The music in this dungeon is amazing.
I am tempted to level Paladin just so I can do more solo
Paladin
stuff.
is
But
amazing.
yeah,
I think a little more job, but I've really been stuck on Astro, so
Yeah, Astro, when I played it out at FanFest, I was just like, oh gosh, this feels bad.
It's
love
just
Astro.
shield spec for Astro is what's Nocturnal is what's terrible right
yeah,
now.
they're working on it. It's
Yeah.
literally the thing they're fixing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that bad. It's just a little bit slow.
Yeah.
But one thing I do wish Astrologian have is Astral Projection as like a minion to help healing.
Oh, that'd be neat. Just like a light little thing to bring out occasionally, or just something, right?
Yeah, super similar.
Yeah, I like that. That's why I really enjoy Scholar, because it's like, yep, got the fairy, putting him to work.
So I know a lot of you guys watched the live letter. Can anybody give me any information about what's happening to if there's any big changes coming to Gunbreaker?
No,
nothing major.
But
Yes.
Reprisal is going to be an AOE ability, and that's going to be massive, huge on on those big pools. And
So,
you're also having
all your cooldowns, all your
that doesn't really affect Gunbreaker
Yeah.
because most of them is already 15 seconds.
Yeah, but it's going to affect them because it is a tank skill. All of your cross roll abilities will be on 15-second duration.
No, it's not crossroad it's the main jobs that they've got them. Sentinel and Rampart. All the crossroad are already longer than that.
yeah, the ones that were 10 seconds are going to 15. So
Yeah.
it's more of a buff to help. It's more of a buff to help others in light of Gunbreaker, because like Chris was like, I can have pretty much a mitigation up 70 seconds out of every 90 seconds. You know.
Yeah,
and
this mitigation change doesn't really affect
Right.
Gunbreaker.
No, but that does help me a little. That does help planning some.
the reprisal thing is massively exciting.
Yeah.
Reprisals now being an AoE and it being.
Which one is?
That's the 10% reduction in damage incoming, and it's been single target. Yeah, it's been single target, and now making it AOE is going to make it valuable on big
It's also
pools.
making a longer duration. It's
Yeah,
also
yeah.
up-
It'll now be 10 seconds instead of 5.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, the reprisal buff is massively awesome.
Oh, that's massive.
Well, I just was like, holy crap, on AoE pools, this is going to be great, because you can still pop it, and yeah, you cut somebody's damage down on you, but this way it's like, okay, y'all, everybody, hell yeah.
That'll be good for a rotation of using arm's length at the start of the portal to give everything slow, and then once arm's length wore off, then you use reprisal.
Yeah. Thrilled
One thing
about
I
that.
really want to say is how Ninja actually play. Like, I quit leveling it because it got complicated, basically.
The Gunbreaker?
Ninja.
Oh, Ninja? Ninja going to global cooldown. I'm really interested to see how that plays, because I was like, all right.
I'm interested to see how the summoner is going to play now that its
Yeah, buddy.
abilities are now spells.
Well, and then Bane refreshing your dots That fixes the problem. That fixes.
There is an issue with that. We still don't know, and everyone is asking it. Will that also refresh the dots on the guy you're casting?
I don't know.
Probably. It'd be a bit weird if it didn't, because you're targeting the enemy and then it spreads across, so it should.
I don't know about that because remember, back when they didn't increase just the base power of like Ruin 2 and 4, I think it's or Ruin 2, where you had your only your bio and miasma would increase the damage, not another summoners.
Well,
I think it would only refresh your bio and miasma.
well, yeah, it only refresh your bio.
Yeah,
I'm just saying the
well-
fact that. Okay.
What we're talking about is basically as it is right now, and even that skill, like the skill actually does do that. What it's going to be doing is right now, if you use Bane, it spreads it to everyone with a possibility of it going to full duration, but it does not refresh it on the guy you're casting it on. So even if the guy only has like 3 seconds left, if you cast Bane and you get that proc, it does not refresh his Bane, his stuff.
Oh, I see what you mean then.
Yeah. So we don't know if
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to absolutely go hands on and
Wait.
see what it
I
is.
think that they probably will make it do that just because Iron Jaws works similarly with
To
our-
refresh the dots, so that we were like, all right.
Yeah.
Well, and that for me, like Tridasaster, they're taking away the ruination. I was like, oh, all right, but that makes sense because like it always kind of felt like when you had to hard cast the dots, it was just, especially at the higher levels, it just felt annoying because it's like, man, in Tridasaster, and you had ways to refresh Tridasaster by Dreadworm Trance, and then it was like, okay, like, all right, and I can't Dreadworm Trance, so there's just this weird downtime where I either don't go dots or I just refresh the dots, and as soon as I put the dots back on, oh, Tridasaster's back, you know, and it's just like, gosh, like, why can't we need to figure, you know, like, hopefully and that's what I hope this actually solves, to where it's like, okay, like, yeah, let me refresh the dots with Bane. Oh, Tridasaster's back, perfect. Now I'm ready for that when needed. And if it helps still continue to spread, then all the more power to it. Hey, Fetch, thanks for the host. Are my notifications muted?
Hey, Fetch.
We got a couple of follows. Thanks, guys, for the follows. Like, I don't know why I'm not getting notifications. Okay, well, I just mute and unmute and see if that fixes it. How you doing, Fetch? Guys, if you aren't following Fetch, she put together like a really fun dancer video. Fetch, if you can, feel free to link your channel in the chat. But we're also hanging out in voice if you want to come hang out with us. I've got about 30-45 minutes before I'm gonna head over to my brother's house because we're gonna be doing poker night tonight.
Ooh.
Yeah. I made some fresh salsa. I haven't made fresh salsa in like 2 years, dude. It's so good.
I want some.
Dude, it's amazing. I love it.
Are you gonna share with the rest of the class, Brian?
I'll share the recipe.
Do you have like a cooking like recipe share section?
Oh no, it's all kind of by ear. I mean, like essentially, it's you take. I get tomatoes. Now, if you want to be fancy, you get like the vine ripened ones, but I get the cheap ones, which is like usually the Roma, whatever's on sale. So I get fresh tomatoes, and then I get some jalapenos. I don't like to de-seed them, but because I like it really crazy spicy. But for people who are me, then I like if I'm making it for other people, then I'll de-seed them. So I de-seeded this stuff. Get a little lime, cilantro, like 1 bushel. Cut off the stems, and let's see, and a little red onion. See here, then jalapeno, tomato, cilantro, red onion, yeah, and then you put it in a food processor. You let it blend it up. Add some salt to taste, and enjoy. And then you can put it in the fridge if you want, but I don't. It usually doesn't last that long in my house, so I usually make it like a double batch. So I get a lot of tomatoes, and then essentially you just kind of figure out to your taste, like your tomato to cilantro ratio. Like, do you like it more verde, or do you like it more, you know, like red? That's just a matter of how many tomatoes to the cilantro that you put in. So I kind of do. It's kind of a light. Mine's a light green, kind of more of a pink, with the tomatoes and the cilantro.
Yeah.
Sponge saying no, guys. If you, Sponge made. He made like these ribs, and he's like, Brian, you got to come to the office. I'm like, all right, I'm there. So I get there and I put some ribs on the plate, and I go, you got any barbecue sauce? He's like, no, dude, you don't need barbecue sauce for my ribs. And I'm like, all right, like, you know, okay, like I'm gonna trust you. He was 100% right. Best ribs in the world. I go, dude, if you ever get tired of people, you know, asking you questions about IT stuff, man, you got a future in barbecue.
That is actually a good.
Oh yeah,
if
Serrano
if
is
you
awesome.
If you don't need barbecue sauce to eat the steak or anything, the guy actually knew how to cook the rib right or the steak right.
Hey, Sponge, when are we gonna be playing? When are we playing Destiny, man? You've been so busy.
I should join you on Destiny sometime.
Yes, please. We Chris and I were playing a little bit today. I finished off all my Iron Banner stuff. Love Iron Banner.
Nice. I've done my banner stuff on my main character. I just haven't actually touched the story yet.
I finished the story. I want to do the raid, and then I want to try to put out a review. Somebody was asking me in Discord, like, is it worth it? And I'm like, all right, like, I want to put out a review because, like, I quit the game, and I think that was the right choice. And ultimately, I'm very proud that I quit the game because I think that essentially helped send the right message. You know, it's like, I think that, yeah, from where they were to where they are now, it's such a better world, and I'm so happy.
Definitely.
I'm so happy. Like, it's like, yeah, I remember like people were like, oh, you like, yeah, they didn't know who I was, but they're like, yeah, like, oh man.
Like even from like launch, it's changed significantly. I mean, story is crap in the beginning.
Well, the like from 1.0, like from Destiny 1, yeah, but I think Destiny 2's campaign to start was good.
I disagree.
Okay.
My big thing with Destiny 2 was that they paraded it around as being, we have no lights. We no longer have our regeneration. We're immortal. We have this danger that we have to worry about.
Oh man, let's
So
get
it's
out
like,
of the way.
You gotta worry about all this, worry about all that, death around every corner, loot all this crap, like, you know, with the promotional curve. And that was really cool. However, within the second mission, I don't even think like by the second or third mission, you get your light back, you suddenly can revive, like boom, done. What the hell? It's a lot like with Star Wars Battlefront 2 as well. Like they paraded it around as a campaign about being an Imperial
hard casting
through the fall and rise of the Empire to the First Order. By the second mission, you defect from the Empire and you're with the Rebellion.
You guys looking forward to the Star Wars game here, Fallen Order?
My brother's gone and pre-ordered its free access to it, so I'm gonna be nicking it off of him to play it.
I'll probably pass.
I'm gonna wait till reviews.
I'm gonna wait a month.
It's not a wrong choice, Sparta. Not a wrong choice by any means.
I'm sorry, but it's just like that whole, like, we were talking about it, like, everyone's saying, like, Activision said no loot boxes in Call of Duty.
Nope, lies.
Yeah.
They're gonna put something in there. They're gonna put something.
Yeah.
I don't.
I mean,
I think if people don't buy the game, they're gonna put something in there. Like, it's like, okay, like we're saying we don't like this, and then we don't buy the game, and then they're like, well, you said you didn't like this, you didn't buy the game, and now we're gonna just try to make money off of it. Now they could totally just do whatever. But,
how is Red Mage going?
it is awesome. I love casters, so there's like a natural inclination that I really enjoy about the job itself. It's not like revolutionary like Machinist was, but honestly, I'm really enjoying it. And the I've reset up my hotbars, as you can kind of see, and I don't know if I ultimately will land on it. I'll have to kind of play around. Like I I try to spend a lot of time with the job before I put out controller guides, just because it's like I want to make sure that it makes sense. But I've moved things that should be instacast onto the ABXYs, so that way, so there's a little hopping on that, but like because you go from from a cast time to not a cast time, so it allows for movement in certain situations, and that's kind of neat. Like, and so kind of having that balance feels really good, honestly. Yes, I have this now.
Yeah, but this is the thing about the whole, like, I'm letting you get that. Even if they, like, people don't understand. Like, they're going to do it. It might be, a month, it might be 2 months, it might be 3 months. But they're going to do it because they're going to see, oh yeah, we need to make $1 million more than we've already made, $4 billion, but we need to make more.
So what's wrong with that?
Yeah, that's business.
Yeah.
And here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. If people are asking to give money that way, ultimately it's silly for them not to do it. And we can't.
They're not asking for it. They're actually saying, please don't.
The people who don't spend the money on the game, who have absolutely no concept of it, it really frustrates me because they're like, okay, like it's like, oh, I don't like that when games do that, and then they do it and they go and make $800 million. Well, obviously people wanted it. Who do we listen to in this case? And if they don't do it, I think it's a really good move. I don't think it makes sense in single player games whatsoever. But if people are sitting here saying like, man, I really wish I could hand them $20 for blah, and they're not, it's like, yeah, they're going to go and do that. And if we're going to sit here and fault them for it, we need to get our priorities right.
Well, my thing is that, in my opinion, Devil May Cry 5 by Capcom, they did microtransactions right.
So that's where the market needs to win. Like when people do those systems, like I think if we, if we go and say, yeah, okay, they did it right, like we need to make sure that becomes a standard in how we're willing to like support, etc. But yeah,
for a single player game, they did the microtransaction correct.
Well, how'd they do it? I didn't play it.
The way they did it is that you had the option of one-time buying of certain levels of what is known as red orbs, the in-game currency to buy upgrades and powers in the game, other than earning for it yourself. You can only buy each one once. Same with extra health orbs and devil meter orbs.
Okay.
Basically your superpower meter. You could only buy them once, but that was it. They were like, it was a massive amount of red orbs, but you could easily make that amount of red orbs with like 10-20 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah, like if the extreme super lazy like want to just throw money at it, like okay,
but you can only buy it once.
Yeah, that's actually one of the things I liked about the Pokemon Quest, like that the Cube one, is that they had the stuff, but it was one time buy. Like you can't rebuy.
The one on the Switch.
Yeah. And that's where I think, from a microtransactions done right, that feels less predatory. All right, if you want it, here you go. But you can't just keep doing it and doing it and doing it like till the cows come home, because ultimately, where these companies aren't making the money, like it is on these kids who have their parents' credit card hooked up to their devices for whatever God knows reason, and then they just go nuts. And then because like I've talked to them, that's why like I feel like. I have no issue whatsoever with microtransactions, but I feel my responsibility is to help educate parents on how not to get those crazy bills.
There was a policy I found in my local game store that I'm really happy that it's been implanted now. If a kid that looks under 15 tries to purchase a certain amount of currency, like game currency, they cannot unless they were an adult.
That's good.
So I think it's something like if they try to spend more than £50, they have to have an adult with them at the time.
That's
so
good.
If say like a 12-year-old kid who got like $100 from his grandmother decides to go into the store and buy a $100 Steam card, PlayStation card, or Xbox card, they'll say no. You need to have a parent with you.
Yep.
Even though it's literally like a 5-minute walk from their house.
Correct.
Huh. That's pretty damn smart.
Well, it's smart, but it's also interesting. Like it is from a business, like it's not in their interest to do it, so that actually kind of feels good, unless the law is requiring them. Dude, thanks, Kaz, for the 200-bit cheer, man. I don't know why my notifications aren't working. Like, I'm not getting the audio notification, but thank you.
It's not popping up on Discord either. So I mean, on the stream either.
Man, what the heck? Freaking frick.
Thank you, though.
I mean, I'm thinking about it too, and from the sounds of things, here's what the Call of Duty microtransactions to me sound like. It sounds like it's going to be kind of just like Destiny, where everything else is going to, everything that you can buy is going to be for decoration only.
Yeah.
And if it is that way, I don't care.
Yep.
Yeah, I think generally, like, the majority of people don't care if it's decorative, with the exception of if it's EA trying to sell them, in which that EA doesn't care about the people complaining about EA, because those aren't EA gamers. We can all be like, oh, like, it makes a great YouTube video. It makes, it makes for a lot of people raging in the comments. But literally, like, when was the last time these people, were actively, like, EA, interested in their content? And so EA's like, I'm not going to listen to them. We're just going to keep doing what we're going to do. And we're going to keep trying and stuff. And, like, I don't like EA. I always feel like I have to come in as some kind of, like, apologist for EA. And it's like, okay, so they made money, and you're mad, and you weren't going to buy their game, and you didn't buy their game, but you're mad that they're making money because they screwed up Star Wars, like, 3 years ago? And then they fixed it? Okay.
I wouldn't say that, Brian.
You don't think they fixed it? Like, they're still supporting it.
No.
People are still playing it.
I don't think that they fixed it. They still have quite a few things that they... The one thing that they promised us that we would get, or at least they heavily alluded to, was a proper boarding enemy ships, from boarding a starfighter, jumping into a battle, and then boarding the enemy star in the old assault that we had in Battlefront 2. They alluded that we would get that.
Okay, and that hasn't been delivered yet?
What we got was Capital Supremacy, which, while cool, they did one of the laziest things ever. In order to transition to the capital ship phase is a cutscene.
All right, have a good night, Kazran.
Have a good night, Kaz. Thanks for the 200 bits again. Really appreciate it.